Bethesda has released a brand new update for Fallout 76, and this update is the once in a blue moon update for the game. And in this video, we'll be going over everything that arrived with this update, but we'll also be focusing on something that I would consider more important, and also, something actually better than that entire update. And that is the new features for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X users. And interestingly, these new features don't appear in the patch notes for this new update from Bethesda. So in this video, we'll be looking at that as well. So let's waste no more time and let's get straight into it. So first of all, let's focus on what this new update actually brings. This arrived on June 20th, and this is the once in a blue moon update for Fallout 76. It's available on PC, it's available on PlayStation, and it's available on Xbox. On PlayStation and Xbox, it actually is a over 20 gigabyte update size, and it's the same if you have the game on the Microsoft Store on PC, and then it is a little bit smaller over on Steam, about 12 gigs. But either way, let's look at the highlights of this update, which we do have in the patch notes from Bethesda. So first of all, we are getting the once in a blue moon. So the Blue Ridge Caravan is back and needs your help with its expanding business. This brand new update introduces new side quests, it introduces new public events, new rewards, and daily ops mutations, and also much more. So there's also new public events. Vinny Costa, head of operation for the Blue Ridge Caravan company, is impatient with the members of the caravan, believing they're not pulling their own weight and contributing enough. Work with the caravan members to get them back up to speed and earn some sweet Blue Ridge Caravan themed items as a reward. Then there is Beasts of Burden. After a trade deal goes wrong, Luca Costa finds himself in need of some help. A group of local cultists has stolen his Brahmin and cargo of makeshift explosives. His uncle Vinny will not be happy if he catches wind of it. The problem is, he's too injured to get his supplies himself. And then there is Safe and Sound. So Blue Ridge has renovated the Middle Mountain cabins to be their latest and greatest pit stop. So there is also cost of business daily quests, there's Unmasking the Myth, there is new cryptids, and there is also new rewards as well. Braving battle against these new cryptids and public events is not without reward. Completing these events to collect a host of new items, from cryptid plushies to outfits, camp items, weapon skins, and also more. So then we also do get the new season with all of this, and this is Season 13, Shoot for the Stars. So there are Season 13 rewards. This season is packed with Hollywood-themed items to glam up your dwelling, from a jewelry stand that displays your backpack flares, to movie projectors, pyrotechnics, monster costumes, and everything in between. So there are some new camp items. You can create your own movie sets with items like the Western movie certificate, director's chair, studio camera, and more. There are new armor paints. Become the daredevil you are meant to be with our various stuntman armor paints, including the Stuntman Marine, Stuntman Secret Service, and many more. And along with that, there is a new ally, Joey Below. The wisecracking self-proclaimed funny man has lived a life full of laughter and loss and is ready to bring the laughter part to your camp. Joey loves a good bubblegum rapper joke and is quick to diffuse any tense situation with humor. This class act is sure to leave you in stitches, even if the cut is his doing. And then there is a new daily ops, there's a new mutation, and that is Danger Cloud. Enemies have seeds embedded in their skin. Periodically, they will radiate a spore cloud around them that damages the player, reducing their AP regen and max AP. Plan your routes and loadouts carefully to withstand these infested beings. And then there are also some design changes and general improvements to the game. There are actually some weapon and armor descriptions now. There is also an item view and inspection. And then there has been some general balancing, and of course loads and loads of bug fixes. These bug fixes are fixes to the audio, to art and animation, to the camps and shelters, to crafting, to challenges, daily ops, enemies, events, gameplay, power armor, quests, weapons, world, and also the general user interface. There's loads and loads of bug fixes for loads of small things and also some larger things. But there's also been another patch added to the game with this update, and this is mainly for PlayStation 5 players, and this actually improves the overall performance of the game. And interestingly, Bethesda haven't mentioned this at all. This new once in a blue moon update has of course brought new content for players to discover, but the best feature is for PlayStation 5, which wasn't mentioned, and that is the increase in frame rate. Now, this game is now able to experience 4K graphics with 60 frames per second. Now, of course, if you are on an Xbox Series X, then this isn't really new to you, since there is on an Xbox, the next-gen Xbox consoles, the FPS boost feature, and this feature allows you to increase the FPS of certain games, and Fallout 76 was included under that. You were able to already achieve 60 frames per second. It wasn't fully supported distorted, but now it actually is. But generally speaking, you're not going to notice a difference at all. You can get 4K 60 frames per second over on Xbox Series X, but now we have it over on PlayStation 5. This new update has increased the frame rates from 30 frames per second to 60, and this is a massive feature, and it is great for PlayStation 5 players, since many, if you were on a PlayStation 5, would consider the game unplayable at points, since considering it is a mainly first-person focused game, having to play the game at 30 frames per second in first person on a controller really isn't that good of an experience at all, to be honest. So being able to actually have 60 frames per second makes this a much better experience and actually playable, and feels like you're making the most of your PlayStation 5 console. For developers to still be updating a game in 2023, which isn't of course a bad thing at all, that is great. It's really important in my opinion that the game is a very good experience and a playable experience, so having 60 frames per second definitely makes sure that that is the case. I do think it's interesting that this wasn't mentioned at all by Bethesda. Now, of course, with next gen, they are looking at bringing a Fallout 4 next generation update, which I've done loads of videos on, but unfortunately, we're still waiting for news on that. In the Xbox event, actually, when they did reveal this update, I did for a second think that it was the Fallout 4 next gen version, but it wasn't. It was another update for Fallout 76. I can't complain about that. I do think Fallout 76 isn't that bad of a game, but I do prefer Fallout 4, so of course, I would rather the next gen improvements are for Fallout 4, but hopefully, we'll still be getting those at some point in the future. It's promised to be this year, but at this point, we really don't know when it will be. We don't have much news, and we haven't had any news since it was first announced, but hopefully the Fallout 4 next gen version is on the way, and we'll be able to experience a 60 frames per second version of Fallout 4 on PlayStation 5, since at the moment Fallout 4 is still 30 frames per second on PlayStation, whereas Fallout 76 now has that next generation update on PlayStation. Of course, it isn't a proper PS5 version of the game, it still is a PS4 version, but there has been a patch to allow 60 frames per second on PS5, so yeah, hopefully that'll be with Fallout 4 soon as well. But I did just want to make this video going over the new Once in a Blue Moon update for Fallout 76, which seems like a pretty solid update. A new season, you can't really complain with that. It's just a decent update with a bit more content added to the game. And yeah, there is of course the best bit in my opinion, the 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5, which definitely makes the game a better experience. Now, the game was actually free for a while on PlayStation Plus, so chances are you have this game in your library. So there you go. You not only got the game for free, maybe, you also get to experience it in 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5. And if you're on Xbox, you're already sorted. This is old news to you, to be honest. But there we go. Yeah, just wanted to make this video going over the new Fallout 76 Once in a Blue Moon update that has recently released. And yeah, that does just about wrap up things here. Personally, I'm definitely going to be checking out this update, but I would love to hear in the comments below if you'll be checking it out for yourself, and if you have already checked it out, what you think of it so far. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts down below. But yeah, that does just about wrap up things here. Now, on screen now, you are seeing a link to a video where I go over everything we know so far about the Fallout 4 next generation version. Hit the link on the screen if you are interested in watching that.